Welcome back. Well, and so the next day, again, obviously eyewitness. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. This is 43. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Now, Jesus was traveling, walking. He had a couple guys with him now. 3 guys with him. The eyewitness, the Andrew and Simon Peter. And he runs into someone on the street. And he says to him, "Follow me." And Andrew did. Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." Why? Why would Philip say such a thing to Nathanael, who was his friend? It's the only possible explanation is that Philip and Nathanael had also been looking for Messiah, were expecting him, had heard of the things going on, and had, in times that they were together, had conversations about this. They had both expressed interest to each other about the Messiah. And so he comes to him and says, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, son of Joseph." And of course, Nathanael says, "Nazareth? Can anything good from there?" I guess Jesus didn't grow up in one of the most upstanding towns in Israel. And so Philip answered Nathanael and said, "Come and see." Verse 47. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said to him, "Here truly is an Israelite, in whom there is no deceit." This is high praise from the Creator of the universe. Israelite, in whom there is no deceit. Nathanael was a Jew. Who wore his spirituality on his sleeve, so to speak. There was no deceit in him. He wasn't false. So Nathanael says, "How do you know me?" And Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you." Now that's a strange statement. I don't know if you know what fig trees are like. Fig trees have very large leaves, and the leaves are packed together, and so they form a perfect screen. In fact, daylight doesn't get through the canopy of leaves, so that underneath them nothing grows. And they grow up and they have open spaces underneath there, the way the branches are, and with only leaves on the outside edges, and it's like a canopy, a tent almost. And as children, they'd play, get under there, be cool in the day, a hiding place, a place for the guys to be alone. And a place for a young adult to get away from the distractions of his home and to go under a fig tree where he can be alone and pray. Jesus answered, I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you. Then Nathanael declared, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Jesus knew what Nathanael had prayed. And in his mere speaking to him, Nathanael recognized that this person was an answer to his prayers. And so he says, you are, he says, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. A little bit of hopefulness there. You can see that they're looking not just for Messiah, but for the King. And Jesus said, you believe because I told you I saw you under the fig tree. You will see greater things than that. He then added, very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. This is a clear allusion to when Jacob saw a similar vision, his ladder to heaven or stairway to heaven. And that's what Jesus spoke to Nathanael. But look at the first thing he said in verse 50. You believe. And then he explains why Nathanael believed. You believe because I told you. Nathanael heard, just heard words from Jesus. And that caused him to believe. That was enough for the Holy Spirit to reach in, change his nature so that he could believe. As you see, as we go through the Gospel of John, this theme will come back as well. A lot of things said right through here are going to come back. So the question is, in this passage, we have the next day, we have things revealed to these disciples of John the Baptist at the riverside. And as these first 3-4 days happen, individuals are brought to Jesus, or he calls them to him. And one of them, the eyewitness, doesn't identify who that other disciple is. Who was the disciple with Andrew? It was John. It's a pattern of John in all of the book of John and in Revelation. He never refers to himself by name. It's always third person or with a pseudonym like the one Jesus loved. And so John is describing the first days of Jesus' ministry in Israel from the very beginning. Now, next time, our next study, we are going to look at chapter 2 it's familiar to a lot of people. Now, chapter 1's familiar to a lot of people, at least the prologue, the Word, and the Word became flesh. How about all this stuff with how Jesus... That's pretty neat, huh? And we've learned some things. Now John is going to tell us about a wedding in Capernaum, where strange things happen. But we're going to learn some things really going to... really amazing that I don't think you've seen before. Also, we're going to read about Jesus clearing the temple, and that has big consequences. And the politics of the time are directly relevant to what that's all about. And so we're going to look carefully at that as well. And so that's John chapter 1 in 2 studies. I think we can get through John chapter 2, a study or 2. We'll see how it goes. And I'm really looking forward to it because there's a lot of really, really neat stuff. And so come on back and pray that your eyes would be open too as we open the scriptures together. Cheers.